August 2012. A memorable time for us because 9 people from Crosslands Church went off to Malawi to work with Somebody Cares and Children of Blessing and anybody else that came along our path.
We had the chance to go to school with the kids, and after they were done class we would help prepare meals and feed the kids, and it was such a great experience because we got to see the smile on their faces when we handed them food, and they just waited so patiently, and it was a really good experience.
So one of the things we got to do was to run a bit of a youth leaders retreat, which basically helped empower the leaders to better serve their communities.
Another cool thing that we got to do is we actually taught them the chicken dance, which was a lot of fun.
When they heard that I was a counselor, they asked me to spend some time speaking to the counselors in each village to help them learn more skills and be encouraged in the work that they're doing. So I spent some time with the counselors talking about how to care for themselves, take care of each other, and be an encouragement to each other. As well, we spent some time on how to get rid of unhealthy relationships, abusive relationships, but also how to replace those abusive relationships with healthy relationships in families, in marriages, and in the community as a whole.
Doreen and I started off by trying to witness and share with the widows on Bible studies on the topic of prayers and faith. Not unexpected, but in return we actually learned a lot more about prayer and faith from them than we shared with them.
We got to go visit Children of Blessing and see all the great work that they're doing with disabled children and the mothers of these children. And one of the really cool things that we got to see there was this was the first trip to Malawi since we gave our first fruits offering to help them purchase a new building. So we got to see their new facilities and get a first-hand look at where our money has gone.
One of our goals in Africa was to go to Malawi to support volunteers, to support the people who are on the ground working. And one of the ideas that we had was to go in and just throw a party. So what we did is we invited about 50 people and we brought them in for a day. We fed them so much food. We had them all outside. There was singing, dancing. We were able to send them home with 3 months worth of food and just a great time.
For all of us, it was a chance for us to really step outside our comfort zones, doing things that we hadn't done before, in an environment that's completely different, in a language that we did not understand, so we were always working through translators. But it was absolutely amazing to see God at work in us and in the people we were working with as well.
It's the biggest experience for me was the anxiety that I didn't have when I was in Africa. Here in Canada, everything's so pushy and everything's so rushed, but in Africa I actually felt like I can be myself, I can be relaxed, I can feel at home, I didn't have a worry in the world, and I really feel like Canada really needs to learn from the culture in Africa.
I was really actually saddened for our culture and for our community that our faith can be so lacking when we have so much, because we just get so wrapped up in the things of this world instead of relying on our faith and our relationship with God.
I've learned to look at things from a different perspective. We've experienced so much, we've seen so much, we've felt so much, and yet I realized how little I understood of things that happen on the face of this earth.
After coming back from this trip, I've really tried to be more patient with other people. I feel like I've tried to make things less rushed. I've definitely complained a lot less.
One of the main ways this trip has impacted me was that I just feel wrecked for the ordinary. That when I got back, I went back to my job and I didn't feel like I was having a big impact in the world, and it makes me want to do more.
It was definitely a great experience and really made me trust in God a lot more.
One of the greatest ways that Africa affected me personally was by being a father. So having a Leo with us on the trip was just an amazing challenge for me, because I found it challenging to be a father, be concerned about the welfare of my baby, and do the trip. And so I grew a lot as being a father.
All around, it was an absolutely amazing trip. Something that I would highly recommend to anybody, to get outside your comfort zone and go and serve God, either in your community or in another country as well.